She's a head honcho.
Call now. 515-955-1400.
That's right. You can call the mayor at that number, 955-1400. That's been the KVFD number for a long, long time. So, speaking of drugs, Matt always thinks I bring up drugs, and I probably do. I don't know. I get into rhythms and grooves and that sort of thing. And Matt and I both talk to each other, as we referred to a little while ago. Anyway, what the hell I knew I was going to talk about. Now it's gone out of my head, but that's interesting. We covered parking meters. Now, I wasn't there, but you and the council covered parking meters at the last council meeting, which was Tuesday. You had to move the council meeting.
We moved it because of RAGBRAI.
Right. And apparently the reason for removing the meters is what?
Just reinventing the parking system. I mean,
John Daniel hates them.
No, there was a couple of different options. I mean, the council could have said, okay, let's expand them. They could have left them status quo, or they could try to come up with a different parking system. Council directed staff to come up with a different parking system. So, which I agree with council. The meters thing was you either put a meter everywhere or you don't have meters.
Yeah.
Because we had them kind of in the core middle of the downtown, but then you didn't have them up, like you say, by Daniel Drug. You didn't have them down on the city square. So this one little section was kind of running the burden of being the metered area, which isn't really right. You're either going to have them or you're not.
Right.
Well, it was pretty much decided not. Well, it was decided not. So the council said, go figure out a parking system that doesn't include these meters on the street. So,
one of the reasons
David and the staff working with Main Street and some other downtown people that had interest in being involved. I believe they had, quite a few meetings, and they brought their proposal back on Monday. They talked about different types of permitting that we're going to do. They changed the prices of some permitting. You would even now be able to literally rent a specific space and get a reserve sign for that space. It's going to cost you some money, but they came up with a system. The council said, hey, let's try this for a while and see if this one works. Because meters, in the way we were doing them coming into COVID, they were very punitive to just a small section of the downtown. We either needed to do it, put them everywhere, or we needed to just get rid of them. So we got rid of them. We've had meters in Fort Dodge twice.
Yeah. One of the ideas with the meters was to raise revenue.
Right.
Are we going to replace that revenue? If we decided to go
we
without
probably
it?
Will not replace that revenue. It depends how well received parking permits in the lots are, and it'll also depend on if people violate the 2-hour parking on street a lot, and if we have to write a lot of tickets.
Yeah.
So because
they will violate it.
Well, of course, some will.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, the courthouse workers, I believe, and some of the city workers were complaining.
I don't think so, because most county and city workers have some lots.
Yeah.
So they have parking lots to park in.
I guess that was just a rumor that was being spread in support of parking meters, I guess. Now I think about it.
I don't know.
Maybe I started it. I don't know.
You might have. that makes a lot of sense.
No, I didn't. But I did hear that around at the time.
That the city employees wanted the meters?
No, the county workers.
Did
not want the meters necessarily.
Oh, because
they wanted some way to control parking, because people would park in front of the courthouse or city hall like all day.
Well, I don't necessarily know that people were doing that as much prior, because most of the parking spots out in front of city hall and in front of the courthouse prior to meters were like 15-minute parking spaces. So they were really like pull in, run in, pay your water bill, run back out.
Right.
Go. Or run in, license a vehicle, run back out and go. They weren't long-term 2-hour parking spaces. Now there were some, but they were generally across the street from the destination of either the courthouse or city hall. I can't remember exactly which ones were which, but I know there was like 3 or 4 right in front of City Hall. If you would have been going eastbound on First South, that were 15-minute parking spaces, and I
Mhm.
believe there was two or three right in front of the courthouse that way as well. Now, if you went to the opposite side of the street, the westbound side, I think those were 2-hour parking spaces.
All right, Matt Benrick is our guest. Mayor Matt Benrick, if you have a question or comment for the mayor, it's 955-1400, 955-1400. So we're just going to go out without this revenue.
Well, I mean, to do parking lots, I believe David has a pro forma that shows some money that would go into a sinking fund that would then be used to build up some revenue to pay for a parking lot rehab. But it would take a very long time, from my perspective, to get enough to actually do something to a parking lot. If you look around downtown, we've redone a bunch of parking lots,
Yeah.
and that was money that was revenue that came off of meters and tickets and all that. But with this new system, we don't know what the revenue projections really will be. We don't know how well received buying permits are going to be, and we don't know the behavior of the people parking, to know whether or not they're going to violate and we write tickets or not. So we'll have to see how this new system works and what kind of revenue it actually brings in.
The governor of Iowa, Governor Reynolds, is getting beat up a little bit about mask mandates. A lot of people think they should be imposed. Is that the job of the county board of supervisors, or do you and the council have any authority?
We do not, from my opinion. Others might have a different opinion, but I believe the legislature and the governor did some things during the last session to basically make it to where it's a governor's decision.
Okay.
Now, can local boards of public health still make recommendations, and could we still make a recommendation? Sure, we could.
Well, boards are there to make
it's different between a recommendation and a mandate, as you well know.
Oh, yes,
Yeah.
Absolutely. But
like you can, a city council could recommend you get vaccinated, but they could not mandate that. They can recommend you wear a mask, but they cannot mandate that.
So if we didn't get vaccinated, they just sit around and call us names like stupid and dumb and hillbilly redneck.
I don't know what they would do.
That seems to be part of the.
I mean, now you're
approach.
hearing a lot of chatter about employers that are requiring people to get a vaccination. And some of those are government entities requiring vaccinations. I would not be a fan of requiring vaccination, because I really wouldn't impose that on my own employees at Benrick Electric. So, I mean, if it was brought to me that we want to mandate city employees do it, I wouldn't be a fan of that.
My personal decision is to wear a mask if someone asks me to. I mean, if there's a sign on the door.
I've had to wear a mask numerous times, even after I've been vaccinated, and it doesn't really bother me. I just put it on.
I do too. I always have a mask in the car.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a customer at Daniel Pharmacy. You have to wear a mask.
They require them.
They require. I was out to Millennial Therapy because I have arthritis in my shoulders. They require a mask.
Sure,
it doesn't bother me.
There's certain places that it still probably makes sense.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. And
do I want people to get vaccinated? Yeah, I think it's good. I don't think it. I didn't have. I mean, it kind of stunk for a day, but if it prevents me from getting COVID again, which I had, and you've had, and you had it a lot worse than most people. I had a miserable 6-7 days there.
Oh, it's.
I mean, I'd rather not get that again. And if this vaccination prevents that, good. That's what I want.
I got the vaccine both times. I'm fully vaccinated. I got, I went home and slept 12 hours both times and felt a little sick. But my personal recommendation would be to get vaccinated.
Yeah. The first vaccination, I didn't have anything. I got it. My arm was a little sore the next day. The second one, I had about a 6-7 hour window where I just felt miserable. I just felt exhausted. I slept. When I woke up, I felt fine.
Yeah, that's exactly.
I had about 2-3 hours where I was like, "Oh my god, I just feel rotten." So I went home, I laid down, I took a nap for a few hours, and when I woke up, I felt pretty good.
Yeah. Well, I of course slept a lot longer than that, but I woke up feeling refreshed.
And I know there's people out there that absolutely don't believe in vaccinations, and there's people that strongly believe in them, and really, it is a little bit different than in my opinion, than like smallpox
Yeah.
here. So if you want to make the choice that you're willing to risk your getting sick for 7 or 10 days like I did, or end up in the hospital like you did, or some of our friends that we both have
Mhm.
that ended up in the hospital,
Yeah.
that, I guess you're making that choice. Now, do I think we all have a responsibility to try to protect each other? Yeah. But do I think I can make you protect each other by making you get a shot? No.
Yeah, I think
I don't know where this is all going to fall on our own liberties, but you know, it's interesting to think that an employer is going to force an employee to go get a vaccination. It just kind of mystifies me. I wouldn't ask my employees to do that
Well, your friends are in the
unless I
White-
was told by a regulatory authority that your employees have to have it in order to work here. Like, let's
Right.
say there was a pharmaceutical company that was here making vaccines or something. And I'm not talking about the labs. I'm just saying XYZ company. And they said in order for your workers to be able to enter our facility, they have to be vaccinated. I most likely would just go to my employees and say, who's vaccinated and willing to work out there, and who's not, you won't be able to work out there. So just know that. And that's
Yeah.
how I would deal with it.
Yeah. Did COVID really affect your business? I mean, Bemrick
It did.
Electric.
Yeah. Yeah. I had quite a few employees that got COVID, had employees who had it run through their house. So where they couldn't come to work because
Right.
they had either kids or their wife might have had it and they were taking care of the kids separately and were exposed. So yeah, I actually, it's still somewhat going on. So
It is.
I mean, I know a couple people in the hospital right now, and I actually have an employee out right now.
Hey, COVID's dangerous.
It is
Make
dangerous.
no mistakes. People die of it. Let's make no mistake.
They
of that.
absolutely do.
And my 3 grandchildren are just little kids between the ages of 5 and 10, and they go to school down in Marion, Iowa. And someone got COVID in their school, and they closed the school. And I was a little bit surprised at that, but I don't have any problem with what they did. I mean, I certainly don't want little kids getting sick, and I don't think there's much of a history of little children getting infected either. But
The one thing with the governors in the legislature, what they did, though, I do kind of think school districts should have the ability to say, "Hey, we want to have masks in our school," and that should be a decision of that school board. Now, so I don't completely disagree with the governor, but I kind of think there should have been some latitude left to some of those to the districts to be able to say mask or no mask based on some numbers or something. Hey, if we have an infection rate of X, we want to put mask mandate in order to be in our facilities.
we leave it
in
up to the
place.
schools. They're going to mandate masks, Matt.
Well,
They are.
then no,
They're a democratic institution.
if that's what they believe is in the interest of their organization, I think that we should have let them keep that.
Well, it comes down to who decides.
Well, the school boards would decide.
Well, the school boards might decide. Should we allow it, or should we leave it to the school boards to decide a question like that?
masks.
Yes.
I don't. But here's where I guess I would challenge it. If the masks are protecting the student,
Yeah.
and the primary function of the school is to protect the student and put them in a good educational atmosphere,
Yes.
shouldn't the district get to decide that, not necessarily the governor?
The governor has the ultimate authority in the state over these things, and I don't think Webster.
But I don't think she's in tune to exactly what's going on in every single district. Now, could there be a district that has 0 cases but still mandating masks? Probably.
Yeah.
Or would there be districts that use, input from their local public health and they're tracking how many students they have
Mhm.
active and all those things, and they're making it based on statistics? That's what I would hope they would do. But would there be some that could politicize it? Sure. But
Yeah.
that happens in everything we do.
Well, the People's Republic of Johnson County is going to insist that everybody mask up, even when they're asleep in their own house, I suppose.
Well,
You.
it's the one
There-
place they haven't gotten in yet
Uh,
to wearing masks in your house. But
but they
I still
wouldn't
see
mind.
people driving around with them on.
I do too, and that's their business. I
Yeah,
I don't see somebody like
it
that. and
doesn't
say-
bother me.
I don't see somebody like that and say, "What a dummy, you're in the car." I don't. I mean, that's your. If
If
that's
you want to wear it, wear it.
if that's
I wanted to get vaccinated to protect myself and hopefully protect the other people around me
of course.
to not infect them. And to be honest, it was a little selfishly, I didn't want to have to wear a mask.
Oh,
I didn't really like wearing masks.
Who does?
I did, but I didn't like it. I mean, it wasn't a part of my life that I'm going to go, oh, remember the great year of 2020 when I wore a mask all year? I mean, I'm not going to remember 2020 that way.
And when you have glasses, it's a complete
Oh,
bummer.
I know. It drives you crazy because they're fogging on you.
can't.
And I was buying anti-fog wipes on,
No.
I'd run out to Target or whatever and buy some anti-fog wipes, and they work for about an hour, and then they're all fogged up again. But yeah.
I got some of those K95 masks over at Daniel Pharmacy, and they were kind of on the expensive side, but I'll tell you, you could fit them under your glasses, and your glasses wouldn't fog over.
My wife, as you well know, works at CJ Bio.
Yeah.
And CJ was really good about providing masks to their employees, and I think even told them you can take them home to your family, all that kind of stuff.
Oh, that's great.
So Michelle brought some home one time. I don't know, half dozen or something. And I really liked the masks that CJ was providing. They came from, I believe they came from South Korea. I mean, they had Korean writing on them. They've just really fit well. And the way that they went across your face, it vented more out the side instead of like up your face. And they didn't fog my glasses up. I really liked those. And I know I was half tempted to call Luke Palmer and say, hey, Luke, can I get like 50 of those?
Oh, God. Yeah, I know, Luke. I should give him a call.
Yeah. No, they were really nice masks.
So here we are late in the season. Much to my surprise, both the Cubs and the Cardinals suck. I really thought it would be a struggle between the Cubs and Cardinals to see who went to the World Series in the National League this year, but not even close.
No.
Not even close.
No. I'm starting to get the football itch going now.
Well, yeah, that's coming around.
Getting ready to watch some football.
Yeah.
Excited for that. I just hope we can have football. I hope we can have sports. I hope we can go watch it in person. I just don't. With some of the rhetoric going around right now and some of the things happening out there in politics, I wonder what's going to happen.
It has calmed down a little bit because of Donald Trump.
Well, no, I mean, today there is a lot of talk that mandates and shutting things down and all this stuff.
Oh, those
again.
people are just.
I mean,
ridiculous.
they just mandated masks in Vegas starting tomorrow at 12:01 a.m.
That's the way they want to run that business. Good luck with that.
Well,
Good afternoon. You're on the air at KBFT.
You were talking about that smoke earlier.
About what?
That
smoke.
smoke.
Okay.
Remember, Canada's on fire too.
Okay. I do appreciate. Yeah, you're right. I do appreciate that.
there's
information.
been some big fires this year.
Big fires. That's right. Really big ones. And I reported that, of course, in case somebody, and it'll of course happen. What's with all this haze? Where's the smoke coming from? Well, it's coming off through the jet stream all the way to even New York. New York City has smoke problems now. But thank you for that reminder.
Yeah, there's a big smoke warning just northern Minnesota.
Oh, really? Okay. Well, that doesn't surprise me either. Thank you for that information. This is AM 1400, KBFT, the voice of Ford Dodge, 955-1400 if you want to ask the mayor a question. And you're running out of time if you want to ask the mayor a question. So our next council meeting is a week from this Monday. A week from Monday?
No, it would be. Yeah, it'd be the 9th
Be the
of
9th.
August. Yeah.
So not
Next Monday, but the Monday
the
after.
following
Yeah.
Monday. Okay.
Yeah.
I suppose you have no idea what the agenda items are on that.
I would not yet.
Okay. Yeah.
We should be getting really close to getting our financing stuff in order to issue, get that all approved for broadband. So that should be coming up here shortly. Some additional broadband movement happening in the next month or two. I think we've got, what else we got coming up here that would be interesting? You got that. We got the Harlan Rogers one that we awarded the other night for the new turf. There's some other pieces of that.
Why did we
puzzle
do
has
that?
to come. We're going to put turf in on Diamond 3. Iowa Central is going to move their baseball program out there.
Okay.
Did
Did Iowa Central want this?
Well, I think Iowa Central wanted it, and I think it's creates a bunch of different opportunities. I think having turf, we can actually recruit some major baseball stuff out there.
That'd be great.
Yeah.
It was, I love baseball, that, but it was always a little hard for me to get out to that diamond where they built it at Iowa Central. It's kind of away from
It
everything.
is a little way.
But so I'm glad to hear that they're moving out to Harlan Rogers, because
I think it'll be a good spot for them. I think it'll drive people out to the park.
And
I think there's
Central,
opportunities that we might go try to recruit some high school baseball tournaments, do some different things with college baseball with Iowa Central, and having a turf field that you can play on, even though it rained that morning in the spring's a big deal, because you'll hear a lot of baseball teams, basically from our area going north, especially junior college, that have to travel south in the spring to play baseball because they can't host up north because it's either too wet or too cold or there's too many problems. So having a turf field here that we could host some other colleges on, it could be a big deal. You could see a team out of Indiana meeting a team from Minnesota in Fort Dodge to play.
have I mentioned drugs lately?
No, not in the last 5 minutes that I'm aware of, but if you feel the need, I guess you can.
I thought maybe it would enhance the baseball experience at Harlan Rogers.
Good
No.
Lord.
I'm not an advocate for drug use, by the way. If you want to smoke a little weed, that's okay. I think that Fort Dodge should be a marijuana-free city, but I'm not getting any cooperation from Mayor Bemrick.
Hey, I've never said I was against decriminalization of marijuana.
Yeah.
You've never asked me that.
Okay. Well, are you in favor of the decriminalization of marijuana?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Well, can we have this as a marijuana-free zone in Fort
No.
Dodge? We can't do it.
I don't have
That's
that authority.
You don't have that authority?
No.
I do, ladies and gentlemen. You're now allowed to smoke weed wherever you want to in the city of Liberty.
Floyd of Rosedale, a lot of compliments on Floyd.
Great.
And one really cool thing I'm going to end with, I got to meet 5 active duty Navy guys that are appointed to, or not appointed. What is it called when you're put on a ship in the Navy? I can't remember.
That's your duty station.
Duty station on the USS Iowa nuclear sub that hasn't even been completed yet.
Great.
I got to meet them on RAGBRAI. They rode with the Navy team across Iowa.
Did they really?
Really great guys. Got to meet them actually with Senator Kreinbrink, Mark Campbell, and Representative Meyer. It was a fun thing to meet them. They were really great guys, and got to meet a few other Navy guys that travel across our state for Team Navy. A lot of fun. They were staying by the grain silos and were just amazed at how cool those grain silos were. And they had a good time, I think, in Fort Dodge, and it was cool to get to meet them. And they will be, I think it's 2 years out. It'll be commissioned next year, and then there's a year of like trials and training and different things before it actually goes out to sea. But it was really neat to get to meet them and talk a little bit about this new Virginia class nuclear sub that is named the USS Iowa.
USS Iowa. That's terrific. That's terrific. A lot of interesting people come through our town. I wish we could get RAGBRAI every single year.
Oh, God, don't say that to too many people.
Oh, come on.
They'll be hunting for you.
No, that's
a lot of work, though.
Hey, $1 million came into our community, according to Nevin Conrad, who knows all.
It's about $1 million a day.
That's right. That's according to Nevin, who knows all and sees all. Okay, Matt Bemrick has been a guest. Thank you, Mayor. Yeah, 5 o'clock. By the way, tomorrow we'll have some members of the Fort Dodge softball team here, girls softball team, who are the champions of the world. They are the champions. Okay, we'll talk to you tomorrow. Thank you very much. This is KVFD in Fort Dodge, Iowa.